This here is a video response to Frank Caliento's picks on the Fox Sports Network. Before I go any further, I just want to say something. I want to thank Frank for actually getting me into football a little bit. I mean, dude, just 2 years ago, I didn't even give a crap about this sport and whatnot. I mean, run, 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 fall down. Run, 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 fall down. Run, 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 touchdown. But it turns out, well, that combined with the fact that my local college team was doing very good until recently, and that gave my city a lot of hope and a lot of, uplifting in these dark times and whatnot, I finally understood sports, that it can actually bring a lot of meaning during these tough days. Another reason why I never liked sports, because I'm a nerd. Anyway, my character is Chucky Berkeley, not to be confused with Charles Barkley. I'm Chucky Berkeley. I live out west. Not a basketball player, but I did have a gambling problem. I know, Cuckoo Bird. Anyway, because of Frank Caliento's brand of comedy, his sketches and skits have inspired me. Not only have gotten me into sports, but inspired me to, continue on doing some comedy work of my own and whatnot. And if I hope he doesn't mind, parody of a parody. So this here is a vid response to Frank Caliento. Please don't sue us. In my very own version of Terrible or Not Terrible. Oh, by the way, before I forget, this here is my partner and counterpart. Two-time NBA MVP champion, Karl Malone. Say hello, Karl.
Hello, Carl.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. That's funny right there.
What funny?
Never mind.
First up, the Dallas Cowboys.
Terrible. Ever since I was a kid, I heard nothing about the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I know they won a bunch of Super Bowls in the 90s and whatnot, but you wouldn't know that now. Good grief, man. I know they got this new gigantic stadium with the world's largest TV screen. I wonder if you can watch porn on that. Oh, well. But what a pathetic season, man. And I love it. You guys at Fox, oh, every time you pick the Cowboys, I love it. I love it. Every time you pick the Cowboys, I pick different on my picks. Love it. They always lose whenever all five of you pick. I've seen it over and over again. Damn, man, what the hell happened to the Cowboys? Carl, I gotta tell you, Texas hasn't been this embarrassed since George W. Bush moved back there.
Love you, W.
Dude, I tell you, Texas hasn't been in this much trouble since the Alamo. Too soon? Anyway, I always thought the Cowboys were a little overrated, but now it's confirmed. Okay, here's one of the reasons why I'm doing a video response. Frank Caliento said that the Chicago Bears were terrible. I disagree. Chicago Bears are not terrible. They've had a great season this year. They won 5 games in a row, had a solid start to the season, absolutely destroyed the Vikings. Dude, they stole that ball so many times I thought about calling the cops.
But Chucky, they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. They got crushed by Green Bay Packers.
I know they lost the playoffs, knucklehead. I still say they done have a good season.
How about the Patriots? You used to love that team when you were a little kid.
Speaking of the Patriots, I better say something about them. The terrible or not terrible? Believe it or not, I'm going to say both. Yeah, you heard me. I'll explain my terrible part in just a minute. But first of all, the Patriots used to be my favorite team because I got a lot of relatives who lived in Boston and whatnot, and they won a lot of Super Bowls. But then we found out they cheated. I still have not forgiven the Patriots for that cheating thing. Patriots, you've won enough Super Bowls already. Come on, let somebody else get a chance in there for a change. Tired of you guys winning all the time. Now here's where the Patriots are a little terrible. You guys lost to the Browns! The Browns! No one loses to the Browns. Dude, even I was fully aware of the fact that the Browns used to suck like crazy. Dude, when you had to fly back to Boston, you should have had paper bags over your head for losing to the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, they are not terrible. Wow! Now, I've known for a long time that the Cleveland Browns were a pathetic team, but they beat 2 Super Bowl champions in a row. In a row. They beat the Saints, then the Patriots. That's nuts, man. My only mistake was I did not pick them to beat the Dolphins. Now, sure, they've only won 5 or 6 games by now, but they're not going to make the playoffs, but still, they had a good run. I mean, they're alive. Now, I will say this about the Browns. I think you got the worst mascot or whatever the hell. You're just a color. Brown? Brown? Well, dude, no wonder you used to stink so bad. Because it's the same color as crap.
That's a good one.
Okay, here's where I really disagree with Frank Caliendo. He said the Detroit Lions were not terrible. Huh, what are you, blind? The Detroit Lions are still very much TRBL terrible. No way. Okay, so they won 1 game. Whoop-de-freaking-do! They
Karl
won
Malone,
1.
gotta correct you. Lions won 6
Wait,
games.
they won 3?
No, not
the
3. They
Packers,
won
really?
6.
Okay, so they won 3 games. Whoop-de-freaking-do! Someone stop the presses. Someone get a horn. Someone go find Paul Revere and scream, the Lions have won! The Lions have won! Big freaking deal. Whoop-de.
Karl Malone agree. They're terrible.
The Lions still stink, man. They haven't been good in a very long time. Do they still hold don't they still hold the NFL record for the biggest losing streaks? Didn't they lose an entire season previous year and whatnot? Dude, the last time the Detroit Lions won a game was when Bush was president.
Ooh, George W.
No, I'm talking about Bush Sr., Bush 41. Ha-ha! Booyah!
That's funny right there. And how about them Redskins? How the Redskins do this season?
You know, the Redskins, that's a really funny story about the Redskins. See, earlier this season, they were doing pretty good. The first time they fought the Eagles, they clobbered them. But then they lost to them the second time. The Redskins, they had a good run. They won some games here and there. And then they lost 8 games. So good to have you back in the terrible category, Redskins. You're home again. Welcome home.
What about the Seahawks?
Ah, you mean the Sea Chickens? The Sea Chickens? Pains me to say this because they're actually a regional football team, but a lot of locals here love the Seahawks. I'm sorry, Seahawks. You guys are pathetic on the road. You guys are worse on the road than an old 80s rock band that got back together and has to play in unfamiliar territory. That didn't come together right. I mean, Seahawks, you lost to San Francisco, and they were 0-6 this season, weren't they?
But Chucky, the Seahawks, they made it to the playoffs. They beat the Saints.
I was just as upset as the rest of you that the Seahawks got to go to the playoffs, while the Raiders didn't. The Raiders, they done beat everybody in that division, yet they still didn't get to go to the playoffs. Kansas City went instead, only to lose to the Ravens.
Yeah, you Vikings.
Frank Caliendo, it's all your fault. It's all your fault, Frank Caliendo. You turned me into a Vikings fan. That's right. You made me a Vikings fan. Last year, the Vikings were this close to getting to the Super Bowl. They were a field goal away from the Super Bowl. Just 12 months ago, man. 12 months ago, the Vikings were a field goal away from the Super Bowl. It wasn't meant to be. The Saints went on and fulfilled their destiny. Vikings, what happened? Now I'm tired of hearing this crap. It's all Brett Favre, Brett Favre's fault, Brett Favre's fault, Brett Favre's fault. I watched those games. It's the receivers, damn it! The receivers are so bad they couldn't catch a cold. The receivers are so bad if you tossed them the babies, they probably couldn't catch them. What the hell's wrong with their receivers? No, okay, I'll admit, Favre was really pokey at times, and I'm so sorry about you losing your streak. But dude, this is like the worst year for the Vikings ever. The stadium got destroyed in that snowstorm. They had to play in Detroit, which was humiliating. And what's worse? Damn it! Why do I keep picking the Vikings? I was retarded enough to pick them over the Giants. Damn you, Vikings. Maybe next year, but I have no choice. You super terrible this season.
Oh, Are the Raiders still as bad as everybody says they is?
Actually, I'm going to say that the Raiders are not terrible this season. They've been kicking ass here and there. I don't know if they'll make it to the playoffs, but they had a good year this year. Much better than the last couple of years, according to the research I've done. Man, the Raiders, I mean, they beat all kinds of teams left and right. Beat the Chargers, beat this team. I got to hand it to the Oakland Raiders. Now, I will say this about the Oakland Raiders. The real reason why I'm saying they're not terrible is because, I'll be honest with you, I'm scared to death of the fans. You know, the Oakland Raiders should have a motto. They win riots, they lose riots. The Jets, New York Jets, not terrible. Except for that last game, but I'll forgive that. They've had a terrific season, and I gotta tell you, I know Rex Ryan, he's a pig, and it's funny. I've been saying for years, they ought to go into some sports bar, randomly grab some guy who's scarfing down the hot wings, and make him a coach of an NFL team, and he'll make him a winner. And we got that wish with Rex Ryan. Now, ever since I was a little kid, I know that the Jets have been a joke. Well, no one's laughing now.
So who you gonna pick for the Super Bowl? Karl Malone here like Campbell's Chunky Soup Bowls.
My Super Bowl pick is the Green Bay Packers. And that's in spite of... This is what's crazy. Every time I picked against the Packers in the playoffs, they won. And now that I'm picking for the Packers, I'm done picking against them. I am just done picking against Green Bay. And if they lose today, I'm going to be pissed. Because when I pick against them, they win. When I pick with them, they might lose. Yes, I know, I'm crazy. It's more than likely that Pittsburgh's probably going to win today. More than likely Pittsburgh is going to win. But I'll go ahead and pick the Green Bay Packers. Simply because their quarterback has the same first name as mine.
Anyway, this has been my 2 cents on football. Chucky Berkeley.
Karl Malone here like cereal balls.
Carl. We want to say, hi Frank, can we have an autograph? And please don't sue us. This has been a parody of a parody. You're a funny guy, man, funny guy. I wish my impersonations were better than yours. I wish my impersonations were as good as yours.